since that is out of the way, I want to jump right into the NFL here. So the Packers are like, let's ban the tush push. I'm not for banning tush pushes. We're going to start there, and then we'll move on to a couple other things here. But um, then we'll get into last night. I was just enamored by the NFL news. Brian, what do you think of this? We'll start with tush. I mean, you go tush push. The replay I could care about, but the tush push and the overtime rules, interesting. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think you could ban the tush push. It's been stopped. It's not like it's 100%. You saw a little bit of chinks in the Eagles' armor as far as running that goes last season, and really, I haven't liked the overtime in the NFL for years. I wish they'd go with the way the college does it because it's more exciting and both teams get a good opportunity. But we definitely have to see how it turns out this season.
I mean, like I said, if the tush push, if guys were getting hurt, it'd be one thing. I guess the Packers are trying to say that it was kind of like the old days of like carrying guys and pulling people and stuff like that. You can't really do, but I don't think of it that way. I mean, you got a 6'3" guy, 6'4" guy kind of squeezes in a little spot. I don't know why there aren't more quarterback sneaks, and they had them before. They just executed pretty well. I don't know what the problem is. I'm a Cowboy guy. I don't care about the tush push. Fargo. Tush push.
Yeah, I despise the Eagles. I always have my whole life. My whole life was being a Giants fan. But no, it's totally fine. If you can't stop them, that's on them.
Right.
And if you look at like a running back, in the middle of the field, he's not going down. His own offensive linemen are pushing forward sometimes for another 10 yards. They have to ban that too.
Yep.
It's the same thing. It's the same philosophy pretty much. So no, I think it's ridiculous. They won't even talk about it. They put it on the table. It'll be fine. And who else was bitching about it was Sean McDermott, and they use it every once in a while with Josh Allen. So that was a little shocking that he's against it, but he implements it every now and again. So I think it's going to stay. I think it's kind of a moot point. They tabled it, like I said. I think it'll go through and stay the same. I think, anyways.
You had said just stop it, which I kind of want to go into the overtime rule. Right? Like I kind of like it, on the college. I mean, the old school college was nonstop. We just keep playing forever. Now it's 2-point conversions. I'm all for make a stop. I know we lost out and they changed the overtime rules because Mahomes didn't get a chance in overtime against Brady. We got to change these rules around, or Josh Allen, whatever the case may be. Make a stop. Do you want – okay, the other team gets a ball. I understand that you kick a field goal and the other team doesn't even get a shot. All right. I think if you give up 7, I don't think you deserve a shot to get a chance to go back and tie it up. Your defense couldn't stop the guy. Forget holding him to 3 points. You let him march down the field and score a touchdown. No, you do not deserve a shot. No. I say no to 2 possessions. If the team scores a touchdown the first time they get it and just march down and say, no, you're not good enough.
But then you're letting the coin flip decide the game in some cases because these both teams are tired, and you let the offense drive down the field and score. Yeah, they didn't stop them, but then the coin toss basically determined the winner. As long as both teams get 1 possession, then nobody can cry about it.
I guess I'm under the impression of the team that goes into overtime is the team whining because they gave up a game-time field goal or a touchdown late to force overtime, and then they lose in overtime. Like, you didn't do anything to make a stop. Like, make a stop, and you're not worried about overtime. Make a stop in regulation. Do something. No, I don't hear whining. No, you didn't stop him. You didn't get the ball? Tackle the guy. Real simple. That's tackle the cat before he goes 10 yards. How hard is that, man? That's the name of the game. Tackle the guy.
Yeah, I hear you, but I'm with Brian. I'm with Brian. Like, you can't decide that, this rule should have been, put into place, forever. You can't decide a game on a coin flip. I totally agree with that. And I see your point about, make a stop, sure. But it goes the other way. Like, both teams should be able to have the opportunity to get the ball. And as Brian just mentioned, these teams are tired. The defenses are tired. A lot of these defenses aren't very good anymore. So they're not going to make a stop. They can't make a stop, especially in extra time. So I think each team, should get the opportunity. It's only 10 minutes. It's not going to affect the injuries, which was the main reason for them not doing it before. I think it's a good rule change. They start off obviously with the playoffs and now going to the regular season. I think it's good. I think it's good for the game.
Injuries. They have a terrible Thursday night game. They expand the season longer. And hi, we're going to run back on Christmas again, so teams play on Sunday and again on Tuesday or Thursdays. Yeah, we're worried about player safety.
Well, it's good for us because as far as capping games, we have more opportunity to put some stuff out there.
I don't mind the extended schedule. You want to go, but the point is with that is that they're screaming player safety, and then you have short week games, and the games are terrible. They're terrible. I think we'd all be happy with the old school Sunday night, Monday night, and that's it. Let college do their crazy stuff during the week. They can do that. Because they could schedule their kind of stuff. You can't do that. If you're going to scream player safety, concussion protocol, this guy's got to sit. You can't run these guys out on 4 days rest. I don't want to hear that.
I agree. I agree.
Listen, more regular season games. You don't want to play preseason, bro. You see some of this crappy. I mean, you wonder why the quarterbacks are terrible and why you have 10 good quarterbacks maybe. Well, if they're not practicing, you can't have 2 a days. You get no rhythm with players. It's going to take you a bit to shake the rust off from not playing in a while. That's a whole nother discussion. But
the way the schedule fell last year, I think the Steelers played 3 games in a span of 13 days, I think it was, towards the end of the season. I mean, that's just completely unfair, with all these holiday games and, as you mentioned, just the regular Thursday games and, Sunday, Monday. It's too much, especially late in the season when these guys are just worn out. You can't trot these players out 3 times in less than 2 weeks.
I mean, Brian, you know this. So you're a Philly guy. So the Eagles, much like Kansas City, they're going to be Sunday, Monday night kind of guys, and you're playing short weeks. That's why I was all over the Niners under last year because I'm like, they got short weeks and bad scheduling. They're playing teams. They're playing rivals off of short weeks, and the other guy's sitting there waiting for them an extra day rest. It's bad scheduling spots. You're going to have that. You like that for your defending champs going to come in and have a terrible schedule like that because they're the champs. We're gonna play like Kansas City, like 3 games over Christmas, over 10 days.
Yeah, I used to be a big fan of the Philadelphia Eagles. Now I'm just a fan of whoever I have on that Sunday. But as far as being fair, it's just when you're a Super Bowl winner or one of the top teams, you're going to face that schedule challenge in the next season. So it's just part of the game.
And the last one with the dynamic kickoffs, they're gonna switch around the touchback so to get more people to run the ball back. Well, is it you wanted them to not run the ball back, which is why you moved the kickoff stuff, right? Isn't that what they player injury? So it's like, let's do these short kickoffs. Guys were taking fair catches or whatever nonsense, and now you want to switch it so there's less fair catch. How about you go back to what it was? Let the grown men who've been playing this their whole lives, who like hitting people, if they get hurt, they get hurt. That's why you play football. I mean, right? It's always pretty to go out and like tackle people. This is great. What are you doing? I'm gonna go out and grab somebody and pummel them into the ground. That's what these guys want to do. Why are they? I don't understand the switch. You wanted fair catches. Now they're trying to say no. We're gonna pump it out to the 35-yard line now. Explain it. I don't know, Brian. Explain. How does that work?
Man, I don't even know what they're exactly thinking. I wouldn't be opposed to just giving the team the ball at the 25-yard line and eliminating kicking altogether, but I guess you can't do that. The special teamers need a job. I just wish they go back to the way it was originally. Maybe we're just old school guys, and that's how we like it. But to me, it made more sense.
Or just have the guys, have them run. Like move that kickoff line back a little further. Then I guess what is the thing that the guys are running down too fast?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it is?
They changed the rule last year, right? So they set up the normal kickoff, but they can't run until the ball is caught, right, or the ball hits ground. Player safety, sure, which I thought was absurd, anyways. But now they're kind of taking it back where they don't want them to touch the like you just mentioned. So it's kind of a point where they go one way one year, and now they're taking it back a little bit, but just making a mockery of it. Go back to the original way it was 2 years ago. Problem solved. And get rid of this stupid onside kick thing where you have to tell the other team, "Oh, it's coming."
That was be my next thing. They don't address the onside kick where we have to tell you we're kicking an onside kick.
Hey, guess what, guys? Guess what's coming?
Even if they said, go to make it a 4th and 20 or something. Do something different. Or you want an onside kick? It's 4th and 20 from your own 35 or something, right? Or 30-yard line. Make it interesting. I don't know. If you want to, hi, we're going to tell you. We're telling you where we're kicking it off to. Hi, we're going to do an onside kick. Get ready.
Yeah, that was one of the fun parts of the game. Not knowing if the team was going to onside kick. It kind of takes.
Remember the Super Bowl? Didn't?
Yeah.
He pulled it. What's his name? Payton pulled it off in the Super Bowl against the Colts. Like, who saw us? Oh, guys, here's a little trickery coming. We're going to run an onside kick the second half to start the Super Bowl.
Right.
Little NFL ranting for us here on a
and how about one rule they still haven't talked about? The fumble in your own end zone when it goes out of bounds, it results in a touchback for the other team.
Touchback. Yeah, that wasn't a touchdown.
That is the most ridiculous rule that I think is in the NFL right now, and they won't talk about it. It makes no sense to me.
Because that is interesting, right? Because if the guy's running on the sideline, he kicks it out, it's where the ball goes out of bounds. What would be the ruling when you fumble it out of bounds in the end zone? What should it be? It's not a touchdown. No,
absolutely not. No. Spot the ball where it was fumbled because the other team did not recover it. You know what I mean? Or I don't have an answer for that. I don't know. I just think the other team should not be awarded the ball because the ball crossed the goal line and then went out of bounds. There have been so many games decided like that where a team is driving down the field and
gets punched out.
Gets punched out, gets kicked in the end zone, goes out of bounds, and
they're reaching over the pylon and the ball fumbles out over here. Happens.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's a weird one because if you're gonna rule it at, we're gonna switch up all the rules, and they really do for the fumble out of the end zone, right? Anywhere else, it's where the ball goes out of bounds on the sideline. That's where the ball is. Right. But then it's the end zone. It's again, you can't give them a touchdown because that would be keeping the rule going.
Right.
Because then you have guys just throwing the ball into the end zone, right, from the 7. Like, oh, look at this. It's a touchdown. Like it's rugby or some crap. Just like toss it forward. I don't know. I don't know what – maybe they thought they did that thinking teams would kind of pull that kind of crap. I'm going down, but I'm going to fake fumble it. Hopefully my guy recovers it for a touchdown. That's why, you know what? Now you lose the ball totally. I wonder how that came about. Like –
See, we need Chip here. He would know.
Was it Chip would know? Yeah, it could have been.
With his little leather hat on from 1937.
Does it go back to I think it was Dave Casper? It was called the Holy Roller, where he fumbled the ball, kept kicking it. Chargers.
He was a Raiders.
Raiders. I think it was a Raiders Chargers game. Yeah, where he kept kicking the ball, going forward, and then recovered it in the end zone for a touchdown. So I think it has something to do with that. It's just a guess. I don't know, but I remember that. They changed the rule that you can't, advance the ball by not having possession if you fumble it. So that might have something to do with it.
That one definitely got to get looked at. I definitely hate the onside kick rule. I know people get annoyed at, and we're 15 minutes on the NFL. We're going to spend like 5 minutes on the ground. I know people get annoyed at the pass interference, spot fouls. Do you think they should be more college football 15-yarders?
Are they automatic 15 yards in college?
College is 15 yards, yeah.
Automatic, no matter where.
15 yards.
Okay. Yeah, I do agree with that. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Like,
I feel that I don't know. Maybe just because I'm a Cowboy fan. Whenever I see the Dallas defense come in, it's 3rd and 27. The other team chucks it down the field. Dallas mauls a guy on the sideline, automatic first down, and the team's on the 17-yard line. Like, it always seems to go against me. Like, there's some, it's like some ridiculous – I don't understand. If your team's in a 3rd and whatever, 3rd and more than 4. I'm running 2 guys down one side. I'm throwing over there. You got a 50-50 shot of picking up 35 yards on a pass interference call.
Okay, I see your point. I was thinking spot foul inside of 15 yards. So if you are interfered
Inside
with
15, okay.
within like 10 yards, should it be 15 yards or should that be a spot foul? I think it should be 15 yards. Whereas your point, if it's a 50-yard pass interference, he gets 50 yards. I don't agree with that. It should be 15 yards. I see your point. Right. I was looking at the reverse of it. Yes. Yeah.
It's one thing, pass interference. I mean, you sometimes see him on a slant. Okay, whatever, that's fine. But then you see like the huge gains are just ridiculous. And I've been on situations where that's helped benefited me cover a game or something or get an over or Brian, what do you think about the pass interference? Although wasn't even talked about.
Yeah, I'd like to see it reviewable, honestly, where the coaches could challenge a pass interference call. But I kind of like the spot foul because if a guy is about to catch an easy completion and it gets tackled from behind, that's going to cost him 35 yards or so, and you're only going to get 15. I like the way it is in the NFL. I would stick with
if it's a clearly blatant one like that where he's wide open and he's going to go for it, I get it. But I'm talking about some nonsense where they just chuck it up and there's 4 guys over there and it's like, oh, hey, look at this. He hit his, and they talk about the replay. We're going to they slow it down to nanoseconds. Like, yeah, of course. Like, oh, look at that. He was there a whole second ahead of time. Yeah, but you're watching that with your naked eye. That's a good play. But they want to micromanage this stuff to tenths of a second. You can't do that. I don't know. NFL. We're already ranting about NFL. We haven't seen it. We haven't even lost a bet yet by half a point, and we're already complaining.